Hello, in this video we'll be teaching how to insert and use a to-scale drawing in Visio, how to set up Visio so everything's in the right measurements, and then how to use Visio to start implementing your plan. So the first thing you'll need is a to-scale drawing. Generally they'll be provided by an architect, a draftsperson. The venue will also supply them with you, councils. So they're all ways you can get it. Sometimes you'll get them on Google Maps or Google, anything like that, but here's one I prepared earlier. So that's a to-scale drawing. It has quite a few characteristics. One, it has measurements on it. So I've got some nice measurements there. It has the ratio, scale ratio just down there. And there's a key and telling me what certain things are, exits and fire hydrants and so forth. So this is a great, easy, simple plan. Now bear in mind, Visio needs it to be in a JPEG format. So once that's done, we can start using Visio to do our plan. So the first thing we do is I like to use the maps templates because it gives me measurements. So I'm going to find my maps. Sorry, I lie. I like to use my office layout. So that's what I like to use, office layout. I want it in metric, and I create it. The reason I chose that layout is because I like these functions on the right. It gives me the flexibility to work with, which I'll show you later. So the first thing I have to do is build my map. Now I just want to show you, before I insert that, I just want to show you there's some measurements up there. I'm not quite sure what they are, so what I want to do is I want to set them to meters so I can work with it, because it depends what size venue. So for this case, mine's at 97 meters, so I want to be able to do 97 meters. I'm not quite sure if that's 75 meters, is that what it is? So I come down here, I do page setup, and that's in millimeters. So I actually want it in meters. Again, it depends on the type of event you're doing, what you use. Okay, so I got 7 meters. That is not going to be good enough for my 90 meters. So I'm going to change the scale of this. So page setup, drawing scale, 1 to 25. I'm thinking 1 to 500 to start off with, and we can always shrink it back later. Apply and OK. So there I have 140 meters to play with, and just on 100 meters, and my venue map is 90. So I've got plenty, that gives me plenty of room. So I have a decent area to play with now. So the next step is to insert your image. So I'm not quite sure where this image is. So the image, sorry, insert picture, and then I've got my desktop, my training. So there I have my image. So I just want to make it smaller, just so it fits in the page for now. I'll be moving it around a bit later. Now I want to get this, it's called the wall. I want to get that tool, just want to zoom in a bit. And that's saying 3,000 millimeters. But I want 80, what did I want? 83. I'm getting that from here, 83 meters. So let's get that to 83 meters first. Oh, 83, it's a bit fiddly. There, I got 83 meters. So that's what I've got to adjust that to. So I move it over there, and I place it strategically. 83. So I've got to go quite bigger with my image. So I'm just going to shrink it down a bit. Go on the image a bit. Try and adjust it. See how I went. Probably a little bit more. Move my image over on the line. It is a little bit fiddly. I'm using my up and down keys. So it's just a little bit out. Just click on my image again. There we go. That looks pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with that. So I can delete my line. But what's happened is I've lost my background. So I'm going to change my ratio or my scale to page, drawings. I'm going to change it to 1 to 500. So I can do it here. 1 meter to 750 meters. Same ratio, just a ratio. Apply, press OK. So now it's a bit better. Fits on the page now. And just to double check, you can, because this should be in scale, you can just get your little marker and drag it across. $9,750, and then we have 9,720. So we're very close. Oops, deleted the wrong one. Delete the line. So now I can start working with my document. But one thing I want to do is now I want to not make this image move. At the moment I can move it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign it to a layer. There's a couple of ways of doing it, but I like to assign it to a layer so I have more flexibility and I can hide it and so forth. So I go into layers. I assign new layer. They're ones that come default with the setup, but I want a new one. I'm going to call it background. Background, and I press OK. Then I want to assign this particular image to the background. So layers, assign to layer, layers properties, and then we have background. So now, start again. Layers, assign layers, and it's reassigned to background, so that's great. Then what I want to do is layer properties, and then I want to lock it. I want to press apply. Okay. By locking it, I cannot move that image now. It's stuck there. The big advantage is when I move something over the top, I can work with it really quite freely. By having it locked, it just gives me that flexibility. Now I can start laying out my site plan. For example, I have many 3x3 meter stalls. So I could adjust this and play around with it, or I could just double click on it, right click on it, go properties, and just type in 3 meters. 3 meters by 3 meters. Okay. So there is my first stall. So I'm going to place it there. I can't put it on the green spots. It's part of the conditions of hiring the rent. So I'm going to press Control D to copy that. And I'm going to put it next to each other. On top there. And I'll just keep doing that. There we go. So there I have 3 stalls there. I also like to use this if I want to do it like a runway or a walkway. I can use this to do a stage and know my stage size. Again, it's just easy to right click on the all and properties and say the stage is 20 meters by 6.5. There you have it, and I can rotate that stage because I want to have a stage just here. Beautiful. So that's working with Visio with a to scale drawing. The important things is to make sure you get a JPEG image, and just experiment and play around with it. Make sure you create a layer background for your main image, and then you're ready to start using it. Again, it's not going to replace an architect, or because you're still going to be slightly out, but it comes pretty close. And if you're not doing it too seriously, and you don't have to do any sort of permits or anything like that, you can get away with using it this way to communicate to your storeholders or your punters, or even for OH&S and work in health and safety and emergency evacuation plans. You can do it all, and then you can pass it on to a designer to make it look pretty, or an AutoCAD planner to really get to that fine detail that you might need, just depending. So I hope you enjoyed that lesson. Thank you.